should be familiar with. Okay, they should be familiar with over and under situations. They should be familiar with throws, because if you know how to throw, you know how to defend the throw. It's really important. So I could throw some real ones at you that are fancy, and I can throw ones at you that is basic and easy to do. That's not as threatening. But a couple of different kind of throws that we want to work at is, first we'll work from an over and under type of situation where we get with our partners here and work in an over and under situation here, okay, where I'm able to move here. So what I want to do from here is I got a control of his lat and I got a control of his elbow right here, and I'm just going to be moving him. I want to be familiar with this situation. A lot of kids get in this situation here and they see it as a stalemate position. This is not a stalemate position. Okay, this is a position for me to score. Because if he see it get stalemate, he's gone. He's going for a ride. Okay, so around here, I'm just going to work on moving him. Okay, I'm going to pull with my right arm and I can circle him here. I'm pulling with my right arm, I'll circle. I'm going to take a step out with my outside foot and I'll pull with my right arm here and pull. Pushing in, step out, pull. Into him here, push and pull. Into him, and pull. Into him, and pull. Okay? Another way also, I go into him, I switch my feet, and I pull into my overhook here. Moving around, pushing into him, moving, pull. Here. Able to move in different directions. Here, pulling, moving around. Moving around. Being able to move them here. Also working on our tumbles. Going back and forth here. Going fast, yes. Trying to fight for double underhooks. Beat me. Good. Let's stop before it beats me. Over and under type situations. I feel like if you see me wrestle or a couple of other guys wrestle, they always ask you, Zach, did you do a lot of Greco or judo? I'm like, no. I just watched a video of a guy throwing a guy who gets an inside trip, and I liked it, so I just started trying to do it. You know, so good people to watch for that. Kenny Monday's got a great throw. From there, Z, our heavyweight's got a great lace-like throw. Dallas Bailey. I watch a guy a lot named Adam Satia from Russia that did a lot of inside trips. Where I picked up a lot of stuff from. Going into kind of our first move from here, I'll show you a series out of over and under. I started my over and under here, and my first one I'm going to do is a foot sweep. Okay, I'm grabbing onto this lat here, and now what I do with this hand is I tuck it under here. Okay, I tuck it under so I get a lift and a pull. So you can see that I start to turn my opponent's body. You see that? And I start to shift that weight to that other side of the foot. Okay, so when I'm in my stance here, I lift and I pull. That weight shifts. Now what I do is I take a little skip step here. I'm here, I'm lift, I pull, I take a little skip step, and I'm going to block here. So I'm here, I pull, I lift, I take a little skip step. I take them down from there. Here, I take a little skip step. I pull, lift, and I look over. I'm in that over and under. Say I'm here battling here, and the guy drags me up with an underhook. I'm like, okay, let's go here then. Right here from this over elbow here. I'm pulling, step to his back. From there. You want to watch foot sweeps? Watch Steve Mocco. He does it every match. Here, pull, lift this elbow from an over and under. This was real big when the clinch was in freestyle here. If I started missing it, where I started feeling endangered, I'd come back and go right to there. Okay. So what my steps are, I step in, I'm pulling, and I twist them. I'm twisting them literally over my leg. I'm not really keeping his leg and tripping it. I'm twisting them over it. I twist them across my body and down. So when I'm here, I lift, I pull here, twist. back there. Here, moving them, here. Now, especially if you have the left leg lead, I like that. Thanks, buddy. Right to his back. Let him fall, you land on top of him. Okay? Situation out of that, say I miss my foot sweep, he hops over it. I'm kind of going here, he hops over it. I fake, and come back to a front head. Right here. And from here, I got all different situations. Chasing my ankle down, running around. So that goes a part of it. Here, I lift on that elbow, hit a foot sweep. I'm trying to listen, pull front head. Right there. Now from here, I can go to the leg, can chase it down, and score my points from there. So from an over and under type situation, lifted, stepping and catching. He jumps over it. Right there. Looking. Now I got my front head. Maybe shift, move around. Different ways to score from that front head. Okay, that's one. My over and under type situation. Okay, underhook. This underhook helps a lot. If guys don't feel it, that's okay. You know, no one feels it. He's got a little bit of long lengthiness to him. He's able to lift and pull on me. You know, I can feel it again on me. Our other heavyweight, Austin Marsden, says I can't really get a good hook on it, you know, with my own elbow, but I feel I can push it up. I'm like, okay, that's fine. I prefer this, but if he's doing that, okay, whatever kind of adjusts to you. Okay, and a lot of times what he finds out of it is that front head from there. So,
Are you pinching it also?
kind of
down, or you like?
here, I'm kind of like just lifting because he's got his arm wrapped around my back, and they tend to just cling. So I'm kind of just lifting it up. And by lifting it up, it just helps him lower his head down here. And when I'm doing it, I'm pulling more to this side here. See, right there. And I'm kind of on a little bit of a tangent, you know, but the way little kids learn this in judo, and this is what Steve Mockel actually showed me. I'm like, how'd you get so good at my foot sweep? He's like, I just drilled it many times. And he was actually starting judo. He's like, I'm like, well, how did you actually do it? He goes, we literally would just grab hands like this as a little kid and walk backwards, and I would time the step. And as I timed it, I would kick and lift. And literally, they would walk down the whole room just kicking and lifting that foot up. Another one they did was they go sideways here. Step 1, 2, 3, and you catch and trip there. But I like the little kind of walking one. That's why Steve is so good with foot sweep from a collar tie. He'd walk into guys and catch here and pull around. He'd do it from a collar tie. He'd pull up that head, and from his pressure of pushing in, guys would walk back or change lead legs. If say they were a right lead leg, or a right leg, and he'd push back, and guys would change their lead leg. He'd catch them here and pull down right across that head and catch his foot sweep. That's how he did most of his foot sweeps. Next one from that over and under situation is just going into my inside trip from there. Okay, everything kind of goes together. I might pull this way, move here. Okay, now for my inside trip, I end up wrapping my arm a lot deeper. Okay, I like to wrap it deep here. I like to sit here more rather than here. If I sit here, he can kind of back his hand out, back his hand straight out, or post on my leg and get out that way. I started feeling that when I was getting older. Guys were in my elbow, I was able to come up and control them here. As you get older, you kind of find different ways of wrestling easier. But and you actually do better sometimes. But, so here I would wrap here, and now I would move him. I would take that side step here and move him. Now as I move them, okay, I'm setting myself back out. I'm setting myself up sideways here, kind of like as if I was riding a skateboard is what I use the example for little kids. So I turn them into my position of a side stance here. Now what I do from here is is I take like a crow hop step in baseball, and I bring that foot closer. Like I said in our stance, we need power off that leg. If I was gonna go for an inside trip from here, I'm lunging and I'm gonna fall backwards. And in high school, my whole freshman year, I did a lot. I had to come back in a lot of matches. Sometimes I even got pinned. I was like, you know, I'll get it now. Here, changing my foot, crow hop step right into it. So when I'm here, I'm wrestling, I move from here, I'm set. My chin is right on top of his chest. I'm wrapped deep with his hand. I take that crow hop step into it and through. Now here's the key part. From my head, it's on top of his shoulder. I'm gonna slide it down. Trapping that side right to his back. Right there. I'm in that over and under, I'm moving him, maybe I'll take a shot here. I'm moving, boom! See that? Just step, it's real quick. I move him here, I pull him sideways. As soon as that front foot touches, I'm ready to go with that back foot. And I'm gonna crow hop step right into it. Fergie, can you see that? I was gonna see if I need to move closer.
I don't believe we were out there by.
I can show it on you if you want. So here, I'm moving here. You know, I'm agile, I'm moving here. I move, boom. See that? Keeping that arm tracked and pulling it. Okay? Because if I was wrestling freestyle, I want 3. If I'm wrestling collegiate, I want 5 points. Off to the pin. I want to take him from the seat to his back. So here, as I'm wrestling, I'm moving him around here. I turn him, boom. I turn him, boom. Right to his back. Right there, holding on so he can't wiggle out.
You,
Yeah.
throwing with the other arm or just
Yeah,
sagging your
actually.
hips? You just sagging your hips down, you're not that easy.
As I'm stepping in here, this is pulling, this is shrinking, and this hand's coming up. Okay, up and across. Kind of like I'm throwing a haymaker. Okay, trying to hit him almost with that chest. I actually, if you watch some of the great wrestlers that do inside trips, okay, sometimes my hand stays up here, and if it doesn't, sometimes I slide it down to his knee. But this hand always kind of stays high, because I'm trying to get that weight on that foot. So that's why I circle him this way, where that weight's on his foot. Now when I take that crow hop step here, this hand is coming up. Now if I slide and I miss, I grab right here on that thigh. Now I take it right to it. So here, I'm moving him. Right to the pin right there. So moving to my inside trip. To work crow hop step, I don't know, I showed this last year, if you guys were here. I tried to do my inside trip. Some of it was finesse, some of it was straight power, like a double leg. And what I would do is, when I was in high school and I worked a lot in college, hard to find a partner to do it, because it hurts sometimes, but knowing you're lucky tonight. Just kind of stay in a square stance, kind of bend like this. Okay? I work on my distance and my crow hop step, being able to hit them hard. Some of the guys work on double legs, when I'm here at home, I work on my crow hop step where I'm out here and I'm able to cover that distance and jump into my inside trip. You know, that was one of my goals in high school and in college, was like, I like to hit an inside trip with no contact. That's kind of, you know, those real square wrestlers. You know, plus the other thing too is when I stepped on the mat, I wanted the crowd to always remember, or always know that there's going to be an exciting match about to happen. You know, whether it's multiple takedowns, but you know, the teams that I was on, you know, Steve Mock was going to pin the guy, Chris Pendleton was going to get a major, Tyrone was most likely to maybe throw a guy, Johnny Thompson was probably going to snake a guy. How am I going to get my name in the newspaper tomorrow? I got to take this guy down about 15 times. You know, so. You know, it was a great competitiveness that we had between each other. It's not that we hated each other, we liked each other a lot, but we were battling to get our names in the paper the next day. So, you know, that was a good reason why we had good teams. But back to my kind of move here. Guys standing in a square stance, okay? Using a little room, just a little room right here, and I'm gonna work on my crow hop step. Get down. Come hard. I'm gonna take my crow hop step a little bit. I'm gonna take a crow hop step here as I'm wrestling, kind of like a fighter. I'm here wrestling, or I'm here on my right foot. I switch here because I inside trip with my left leg. I'm gonna take a crow hop step and I'm gonna jump into it. Boom, boom. Right to it. Like just reaching out for it. Like power like a double leg. Here, I'm gonna jump into it. Get my back foot close. I can't do it from here. Too far. So I gotta get some power off that back foot. Like if I'm gonna throw it from the outfield to home plate, I better get some power on that back foot, that back arm. So I'm here, and I'm gonna jump to it, and my partner's being good. He's just in a square stance, leaning his body here, so that I got my arms to go the right way. Underhook this side, overhook this side. Right here. Jump it in. And I did that a ton in high school. So sometimes when I was wrestling guys moving around, I'm like, dang, this guy's just a square stance guy. I started moving this way. And right to it. And it just came from trial and error. You know, I enjoy watching, you know, it goes against the United States, and I learned to hate the Russians now, especially, you know, that we compete against them, but, you know, they're good. They're good. Sometimes you learn the best off them. You know, I asked John, I was like, there's any Russians that you ever watch, or who people? I like to watch Kasayev. You know, he was a big one. Penny even said, even though he beat him, he's like, I like Kasayev. I like to watch him. Probably because he was a 9-time world champion, he was really good. Now, Sergey Beloglazov, if you want to see a guy that throws and hits with like some great snapshots, go on YouTube. There's a whole clinic of him showing 2-on-1s, inside trips, Polishes. So, you know, even though I hate them, you learn from them a little bit because they're the best. Next one, kind of from there. So that's kind of inside trip series. Also, you know, there's a lot of different other ways to hit it from an underhook. I mean, I literally could show you a 2-hour clinic on just inside trip. Next one though, but from that over and under situation. Simple, nice, easy throw from here that doesn't put you in too much danger. I started picking up when guys started knowing I had an inside trip from an over and under situation. Here, I would go into my lateral drop. And it wasn't so much a lateral drop, it was more like a whip. Okay, and it's just something I developed of just saying like, you know, guys just kept keeping their hips back. And I had a great assistant coach in high school who was good at throws, and he showed me this, and then I started picking it up, and then it turned more into a whip, where I'm here in my over and under. Now this is the key, getting this arm wrapped. Okay, I can't throw by this, it's just too slippery. Just too slippery here. I wrap this arm tight. Now he's in a square stance, and this is what I loved. Watch the inside trip, watch the inside trip. Every time I got in here in college, I'm like, thanks, buddy. I'm not going to pin you now. Watch the inside trip, watch the inside trip. And I'm not going to lie to you, sometimes I threw myself to my back, but I just battled back from it. But, you know, it also wins the loss percentage. I pinned more than I lost to it. So they say, watch the inside trip, that's good, that's fine. As I go inside trip, they're pulling their leg back. This leg plants, my other leg plants up. I look right over my shoulder, and I whip him right over this leg to his back. And as you see, when I put him to his back, how tight this arm is. That's everything. I can't do it from an elbow tie. Alex Darringer is actually picking up now pretty good. Our 57-pounder. In Dallas, whoever is the starter. But I'm here. If I go in for an inside trip and I try to throw, I don't got no space. This guy's pulling me right to my back. You know, he's on lock up and throwing me. So I get this arm wrapped deep. And if you want to see a good one, check out Kenny Monday on YouTube. He wrestles this Bulgarian. It's a real dim light match. It's where John actually wrestles Sergey Beloglazov up there too. I might be throwing some names out. They sound foreign to you. They are. But Kenny Monday launched a guy like this, and he was known for it too. I didn't know it. I was just guy from East Coast. I didn't know what the heck even Oklahoma was. Here, I wrap, inside trip, I missed, plant. Now I bring this other foot in here, almost like I'm splitting his legs. Because I don't want to get here and try to throw. Okay? I'm actually splitting his legs. So when I go inside trip, he backs it out. Boom! Now I look over that shoulder punch. Right there. Right into my throw. That's called a lateral drop or a whip. Over. But the key to it is when I start to twist it, my leg actually kind of catches them and knocks them out. Knocks it out. It's not one of mostly these, kind of a back arch. When I step in here and I twist, you can see he catches kind of right at my knee, trying to stay up a little bit.
Okay.
Hey, bring your feet just a little closer, just so that I try to hold you here. When I pull and twist him, you see as I'm twisting him, he's going over that knee. Okay? And that's what knocks his legs out. Right there. Okay? And when I'm twisting, I'm looking over my left shoulder, I'm throwing my arm hard across. So if I'm here, I'm going inside trip, boom! Right over. Here. I'm twisting. So I'm taking his upper body. If he was a little bit shorter, you could see I'm twisting his shoulders this way. And I'm taking him over. So I'm here, I'm looking around, moving, they're like, watch the trip, watch the trip. Yeah, I'm going for a trip. He backs it out, boom! Here, twist. Right there. Squeeze it and pin him right there. Any questions with that? At all? Real kind of simple one.
You
It
fully
doesn't-
commit to the
Oh, yeah.
inside out, you're going for it.
I kind
I mean, are you swinging for the fences, and when you miss it, you whip them?
of,
Or do you just
I kind of know I'm going to lateral drop.
You know before you go?
Yeah, I know before I go. I've seen Kenny just hit it straight flat out with it.
Well, he doesn't set it up with the inside out.
No, he just,
He just.
he'll be here, the little guy backing up, and he'll just go, boom! You know, I kind of set it up sometimes with inside
You'll
trip.
about half skip it,
Yeah.
get him to move his leg.
Yeah, just move them. Sometimes they just sit square back on you. Here, it's like, God dang, come on, man, wrestle, man. Here, thanks! You know, Kenny would hit it from there. Mine just started to develop because of my inside trip. This guy started catching onto it. And I would use that as a lead-in for this leg to step. So that's, so I would kind of know from the get-go, like, this guy's a little too far away from the inside trip, I'm probably going to be lateral dropping here. So I literally kind of swing it to the position. Okay, so as I'm going inside trip, and throw it.
Can you hit that same one from body lock right here?
A lateral drop.
Yeah, that same one that you were just.
Thing is, yes, yeah, I would go more Polish from there, just because I think you can, but you gotta get your hips in tight. When I start feeling the rock behind me, I'm like, oh boy, you better start getting out of there. You know.
When you say Polish, what do you mean?
Yeah,
You
I'll show you
skipping
that
his
right
hip?
here. I'll show you that right here. From an over and under type situation. A Polish, I'm saying, is this. Same type of position this guy is wrestling me. If you were locked on me like that, Nolan, I would be looking for my Polish more. You know? And sometimes when you throw, you go straight to your back and then hit them over.
Yeah.
That works for you sometimes, you know? But I want to try and get that throw halfway through the air.
Okay.
Not where I lay on my back. That's why I can't be afraid to throw my pecker into your hips. You know, because that closes the business. Throws is all about closing distance. Okay, from
When
close.
his hips are
Yeah.
separated from.
Yeah, when you see when I throw and step in for my lateral drop, my hips are closing. My hips are closing into them. Boom. My hips are closing into them rather than and then go. You know, my hips are going in. So I literally step into them and go. Same thing what Kenny would do. You boom, and then here and twist. Go. So I kind of like to get it up here. Sometimes it happens. Sometimes when I feel you lock around me, I feel like, oh, this guy's trying to throw me. start wrestling from here or something, and this is when you start to suck it up sometimes, and get to throw, but also sometimes you suck it up and pull your back from there, you know, and then catch you, a guy like Chewy, and a guy that's athletic. Next one, Polish from there. I don't know why they call it Polish, maybe Polish people made it good. Like I said, the guy started to throw a lot of was unbelievable at it. And there's a lot of different situations to throw it from. Probably the best is from a 2-on-1. But I'll show you this from here. Okay, my chin's resting on his chest, I'm wrapped around here. I start to move him here. Same thing, now rather than going inside trip to the inside here, I step around. Now here's the key. When I step around, a lot of coaches show you step around, squat, and then pop your hips. Okay, I don't prefer to do that. I actually had a chance to work with Sergey a little bit during 2004 when Jamil was at the Olympics. And what we want to do is, when I pull him around here and I step around here, I lift him straight up. And you see almost that my foot is literally straight. I actually pinch his leg in here. Okay? Now, I'm not looking to get too fancy. I can take him right to his back from there. As he starts going back, I can start to arch and throw. So when I'm here, I'm in that over-under position here. Boom! This traps him. So if he starts to try and pull his leg back, I just go. Right to it. Okay? So when I step around, it's here. When I step around, it's here. And it's trapped. Now as I start to fall, my foot might turn, and I throw him over. So an over and under position from here. I'm moving here. I step. You see almost I kind of step and slid down. Right here. Right there. Rather than seeing guys go. Okay? You know, I'm most likely you're going to get caught on my back. So when you go to step around, don't throw me, but step around. You know, movement. Boom. Yeah. See how this leg's out? Yeah, you see how, yeah. See when he steps around me, step around, keep that leg tight. If it's not tight, I'm able to come back out. So when you step around me, see how I have to hinge. And I'm kind of falling already.
You trying to stay in the front of him or on the side of him?
A little on the side of him. I'm a little on the side. Right here. Here. I'm on the side. And I'm raising high with this spot, this arm. And now he's trapped. And what I was saying about trapping the leg is that if he steps around me, and he leaves this open, I'm out. And especially if he goes for a throw, he can't pull on his back. When you step around me, Nolan, get that arm around.
Right here.
Get it deep right here. Yeah, right there. Go step around. Bring your heel. There you go. Okay, now that foot's trapped. Yeah.
So
See
this
how-
foot is right here.
Yup, and that's kind of trapped. Now it's raising me. You see, you can feel myself going back.
Especially if,
So I'm lifting them up as I'm going. And as I start feeling them go down, I pop my hips through to get a little bit of a crowd pleaser. But from here, under here, I'm over. Right there. And the same thing you can do from your double overs, Nolan. You're here, step around, keep it tight. See how I'm putting it now. You step. See how I'm tracking?
Yeah.
And then I pull it out.
Take a bunch of baby steps. Like once you get into that, you just keep walking your feet until you go down.
Here,
Yeah.
and then pop my hips out. Pop my hips together. Once I have them, you'll feel it when you have them to go. And it's hard to explain it. It's easier to see and feel it. So try it and do it. That's sometimes the thing with coaching clinics. Maybe next year we'll have you guys bring your shoes and let you guys go out and try it.
Make this thing good. That's thing
But,
good. On somebody's video.
Here, you could also hit it from that over and under situation. I used to wrestle with Johnny Hendricks a lot, and if you watch Johnny Hendricks wrestle, he'd hit that single leg and come up to a seatbelt here and try to lift and throw you over. The only defense I had, I was like, I hope he goes to a bear hug, because if he goes to a bear hug, I can kind of wiggle him up and maybe get him. You know, so, you know, if he hits that shot, he comes up and he's reaching here, that's easy, right here, boom. Take him right over to his back. from a double overs. So if you have me here, you know, you step around, yep, boom, you see a dummy trap? Now you got me. Now all you gotta do is pop your hips and come out. We'll do it when we get a partner.
Show them full speed a little bit.
Full speed, like Polish,
Yeah, that one. Yeah, no, they-
double overs?
Yeah.
Double overs?
Yeah, I just want to see
Oh,
how.
oh,
You don't have to
yeah.
hit it hard. You have to see how-
Yeah, I mean, double over, say he has a single leg on, you know, here and he's fighting, and he comes up to a bear hug, here, boom, step it. Right to it. It's a good one, I mean, it's situations that athletes, you know, and that's why we have crash mats, so that guys don't get hurt.
Yeah.
We work on throwing, before the summer, working with Joe Smith, after every practice, we did lateral drops, waist leg throws, all different kind of situations from there. Just to work his throws, and if you see him wrestle out in Fargo, he was really good when a guy got him in a single leg. It caught him in the finals a little bit, but it's also what made him get to the finals. So, those are kind of situations from there. Any other kind of techniques? Yeah.
Find it safer to do like an arm spin off of that instead of.
Arm
for-
spin.
For a high school guy.
Yeah, arm spin was big too, and I anticipate with my arm spin that I'm not gonna throw him over to his back, but I'm gonna peek my head out from the middle. And that's part of that over-under situation here too, where a guy's really far back, I might not feel anything, I'm gonna kind of drop this hand down and I'm gonna go through. And I'm anticipating that I'm gonna get here more than actually throwing them, and actually get it here. You know, and really to tell you the truth, I want freestyle, collegiate, I might end up with no points. You know, so I anticipate that I'm gonna get caught down there and then work my way out. So to be able to work my way out, I'm here, I throw, I'm caught here, he's on his knees, I'm gonna walk my head out and come around. Right there.
I just find that distance, you guys will.
Yeah.
Get a spin.
And then
Most
you'll have
guys
some-
are nervous getting their hips up.
The greatest kids that I worked with were the kids that had no fear. They had no fear of losing, or no fear of going for it. They're also some of my most exciting kids to work with. Because I was like, just let it hang. I don't care, you know? Let it hang out. You're 10 years old, 12 years old. I'm like, I lose now. Let's win later. Because you never know when you're gonna hit it. So, like I said, yeah, for high school kids, if they don't feel it, but I wouldn't be surprised that if you show it to a kid, or you show it on video to a kid, they'd be like, man, I wanna try and do that. Okay, listen, you know? And all of a sudden they'll be trying in practice, and you might get it. I mean, that's how I started my inside trips. I was in high school, I was a freshman in high school, and one of my assistant coaches had a film on Jesse Reyes. I don't know if you guys know Jesse Reyes. He used to wrestle for Cal State Bakersfield, was a coach at Purdue for a while, head coach. And he was an inside trip guy, and he didn't allow no contact. And when I saw him, I was like, man, I like that move, I'm gonna try and do it. And I started hitting guys in practice, and they didn't know what the heck to do. And then I started watching Adam Satia do it from different ties. I was like, man, that's really cool stuff. You know, so a little uniqueness to your style. Coleman Schutzcott showed a bunch of single legs, low singles. Don't let that guy doubt you. If he gets in a throwing situation, he can throw. You know, so it's always good to have an arsenal. John, Coach Smith. You know, you think this guy has no throws. You know, I seen him hit a Metzger on a guy one day. A Metzger, I don't know if you guys know a Metzger. It was actually at a Goodwill games. Goodwill games over dual meet up in Portland. He got into a scramble with this guy, and he ended up going like this to the guy and throwing to his back. I'm like, damn, John, where'd you learn that? I'm like, I don't know, I never did in my life. Just drilled it a couple times, and I just felt it. You seen him wrestle Sarkisian go around the guy and throw a guy over his head.
Yeah.
I'm like, geez. He's like, I'm not a thrower, but I at least know the situation. So I encourage you guys always to know that situation. Get some crash mats. A good time to learn is in the summertime. That's why, you know, I don't wrestle Greco, but I did wrestle Greco when I was like 8 years old. You know, just to kind of be, I never really liked it per se. And I'm trying to knock on Greco because they're tough guys too. But I was always a freestyle guy. And most of my stuff is off of freestyle stuff too. I use my legs to throw. So, you know, Greco, let them Greco. Let them feel it. know, let them feel that situation. And then when they get in the freestyle, they're able to throw still. What am I on time? About 8 o'clock? What time session's supposed to go to? I could do a little more. We got social tonight again too. You guys broke me last night. That guy over there, the hat. Where's my guy?
My
I
God.
loaded last night.
You want to take it out?
My
Yeah.
That guy was getting down last night. He hit the strip up after and everything. I'll show you a little bit. So a lot of that stuff was from an over and under situation. One situation that I like to teach my guys also. You know, there's only so much inside control, elbow control you teach, and it's great stuff. It's my go-to stuff, you know. But I love to work 2-on-1s. It's just always been a thing of mine that I always liked. And as I started getting older, I was able to adjust to it. It's a great control, and not many people know how to do it. In one simple way, this is getting real popular now when guys are in their stance, holding your hand in your face, okay? Getting real popular now. So what I like to do from here is, I like to take my offense. So if Nolan's putting his hand in my face here, blocking here, I'm like, oh man, that's perfect. I get right to my 2-on-1. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my hand right here to a baseball, kind of reverse baseball grip. I'm taking this hand from the inside right here. Just catch him right here. And I'm gonna catch onto his wrist, okay? Now from here, I catch, I pull it down here, across my face. And I go right into my 2-on-1 here. Right here is my top. Right here. Right up in the armpit. I keep my shoulder right on top of his chest. I keep my elbow close to my side here. Now, this hand is really just a hand that just holds. This hand is where you carry them. So what I have, like a lot of my guys do, is they'll feel they slip off and they'll be pulling from down here. I want to pull up here. So I work on pulling my guy around here. I want to control him. Here, pull him. Here. So that's why I want to explain that I get my hand up there. Now another thing what guys do, and it's great, and it pulls you right into you, is that when this guy puts his hand in my face and I start to pull, they tend to always take their hand back to their hip. And then when they do that, it actually pulls me right into my 2-on-1. Okay? Now for me, I have different sides of 2-on-1s. If I 2-on-1 this side, it's more of my leg attacks. If I 2-on-1 the other side, it's more of my trips and throws. It's just how I developed as a kid. Great shot to cut it right off to this 2-on-1. He puts that hand in my face here, I take it. He pulls me in, I'm going right to my stinger leg here. Trap. I can catch it as a snatch, or I can catch it as a sweep single here. And really, I can take it right from the wrist. Here,